in, watchers and listeners, to Sport Talk with Dwat. I'm Dwat, and I got Casper on the show. If you would please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. With that being said, let's get this show on the road.
All right. Welcome into Sport Talk with you, episode number 37. I got my so he's back on the show. I got back on the show. What is going on, Casper?
Hey, I'm just sitting down here contemplating a lot of life decisions, man. But we're out here. At least I get an hour on here with you to have a good time. That's the good news. Bad week, but it's always good when I get to get on here and hang out.
Oh yeah, it's always a good time on the show to have you on here. I saw you Sunday in Atlanta at the race.
Yeah,
Um,
last minute.
Definitely last minute. I bought mine in advance, and then you and JP got the
Yeah.
tickets, and we're to make it down there. So it was pretty cool. It was very cold down there, Jasper. I left here. It wasn't that bad. I didn't think here in Chattanooga, and then we got down there, and it was windy, and it definitely can affect a lot of things. Just as a fan, I'm not always that doesn't always seem to happen. Probably the first time in a long time for me as a fan to get down there and it be that windy from just a tailgating and whatnot, and then going in and sitting there could be it was chilly. But I was wearing a jacket and a hoodie and hand warmers and trying to stay warm. But it was good to get to see you. Got the hat to you, what you're wearing, which is cool. And it was a pretty good race.
Nice hat. Good quality. I've been wearing it every night when I come home. I can't wear it to work. I got to wear a work hat, but I like it. It's a good one. It is a little chilly here. Let me show you all.
Oh yeah.
This mesh back got me at that race. Like I wear hats that kind of have a mesh back, but it's not like full mesh and like whew, the wind was whipping on my head. But I felt more like I was at Neyland, in November at a football game than at a race for sure on that one. So not the coldest race, but probably the coldest one since we've been old, you know?
Yeah, I can't remember one that I've been to that was quite like that. But it was good to see the fans out there in Atlanta. I thought it was a very good crowd. Went back and watched it the next day. And it was a very good turnout. And they got all kind of land down there, which it looked kind of empty. I thought for parking when I got there. But then by the time it started and all the fans came in from the pit area, it filled in nicely. So that was good to see.
Yeah, it's always good to see the stands full. And the truth is, like, I was talking to my granddad after it, like NASCAR they don't bring in 200,000 anymore, okay? It's just not gonna happen. But, if they got 40, 50, fill it up, then that's good. And they had room for more than that at one point. That doesn't mean it's empty. People just don't attend stuff like they used to, and that's because of, TV. You can watch it everywhere. So that's good. But yeah, it was a good time. Glad to see y'all, and glad y'all made it home safe.
Yeah, we probably ended up getting home. Pretty good time in getting home. I thought it'd be much later, but then you have that caution at the end and the red flag, and it took a while to get cleaned up with the oil spill and all the
Mm. Yeah.
all the dust, all the sand or whatnot that they put down to clean up the oil. It took a while to get cleaned up, and it all was getting up in the air and blowing around. But
Yeah.
overall, it was a good race, and I'm not sure when I'll get to go again. Well, I just have to kind of check the schedule on my next race, but that's something I definitely keep a close eye on and enjoy going to. So we'll have to find them to go to, Casper.
Yeah, we'll see March 14th up here for a little dirt racing, for some real racing. Don't worry.
Oh, speaking of some NASCAR, we're just going to jump into some of the news going on there. Joe Gibbs Racing and Spire are having a little bit of a lawsuit breakout. It seems like
Yeah.
with court situation. Uh, uh, Chris Gabehart was at Gibbs Racing, and then now he's at Spire, and it's just getting to be the point to where it's got this lawsuit of him uh getting all his info. He's taken over to Spire supposedly, but he claimed he didn't do anything. So Casper, do you think this result is going to get bad?
Uh, Anytime we're in the news because we're talking about lawsuits is not good for the sport that I like of NASCAR. I think part of this is just a change in NASCAR. I'm trying to figure out how to get like another sports analogy. This is really more like a head coach going to in like football going to another team. Uh, Maybe the GM. Let's say the GM. This is more like a GM role, really, is what Chris Gabehart was in and is in now at Spire, and moving over, taking all the strategies, taking in this case technological notes, right?
Mm.
And R&D. So it's a big time thing, and I'm curious to see how it plays out. And I think there's probably going to be a lot of NASCAR contracts rewritten in the next couple years because of this lawsuit. But we'll see how it goes. I think it's just kind of ugly. Hate it for Joe Gibbs, obviously great football coach, and moved over to NASCAR, and he's got his grandson racing. His grandson, for those of you who don't follow racing, is kind of proven to be as not nice of a guy as Joe Gibbs, if you ask me. And the reason that Chris Gabehart, the guy that they're suing, left is because he didn't get along with his grandson, Ty Gibbs. And anybody that wants to try to tell you different's lying. But so hey, I always hate to see it get personal like that. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's a weird thing, and NASCAR teams are becoming a valuable thing now that Michael Jordan owns them. And like you got people from other sports looking to invest, and you got these big groups, Spire Sports Collective, the same one that owns the race team that Chris Gabehart has gone to, is invested in all kinds of other sports and minor league teams and major league teams. So really curious to see how this affects it. And I hate to see it in the news, but I think they'll settle out of court, honestly.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it gets solved and each can move on, and Chris can go to the new job
Yeah.
and be there and work there, and just I just don't like it as a fan. I think it's ugly, and we just got through all this with NASCAR and
Yeah.
Hamlin and all those that were involved in that, and now it's like here we go again. So I'm just ready to move on, and let's just go racing and not get involved in all that.
Yeah, a lot of lawsuits. I guess we can go into the next lawsuit topic if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
while we're talking
yeah.
about it, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the year of the lawsuit in sports, and like that sucks. Like, well, I'm a sports fan, you're a sports fan,
Hmm.
race fan, whatever. It's all sports. Like, I don't like my sports to be about lawsuits. I like it to be about what happens on the field or the track, and that we had this other situation with Sorsby
Hmm.
um, transferring, which we tried to get him at one point. So guess glad we didn't get him, but they're trying to get him for like 1 million, and his new NIL contract's worth like 2 to 4. So he's probably gonna have to pay that more than likely. You had the same thing with Mensa from Duke, and I'm glad to see these colleges out here going after these guys because it is the wild, wild west. Until people report issues and sue players, it will not get fixed. Unfortunately, when people start losing money, they'll start taking it serious.
Yeah. I mean that sums it up. It's these guys are going to move around and they're going to chase the money, and then they've got these contracts they call them, and I don't know what they really are. So he's
They
got to
are
pay some
trash.
trash. I mean, yeah, it's just
Yeah,
it's what it is. It sums it up.
yeah,
And I didn't hear that, until just recently. Um, so it's Texas Tech got their quarterback. They got their guy, and it came with a little bit of baggage. So
yeah.
I just hope these guys can just get it settled and move on. And it's just going to get worse. It's probably what I said before, and I guess I'm going to say it again. Until something happens and they change these contracts, these guys are going to play somewhere for a year, and they're going to move on. And it's just going to get higher, I think. So it's going to pay 1 million, or then next year, or 5 years from now, that could be $5 million. You just don't know what the line's going to be at. So that's some pretty big news there, Casper. Not the news we want to hear or talk about, but it's out there, and that's what's going on right now in college football.
As negative as all that is, I do think it's in a positive direction because I think it'll lead to one, the contracts being written better, and two, I think it'll have the NCAA and conferences and all that put in some rules. The unfortunate part is this does trickle down all the way through athletics. I don't know if you've seen locally, state of Tennessee now you can transfer in high school once now without losing your eligibility, and I mean these high schools are out here buying players. I know there's I know some people, I don't want to use names, but there's a county close to here that went and got a quarterback from another county when he was a junior and bought mama a house and paid him, and because it's NIL, and they can do it basically because it just kind of follows these college rules. And how low does it go? Does this end up at middle school baseball? Does this end up at Loftus Middle School? Does this turn into an
Mm.
issue there? And like, are we really teaching kids with sports at that point? Like we're not, right? So, um, I hope with you, I hope they get this stuff straightened out because I'm tired of talking about
Yeah, it's gonna keep going down, which hopefully goes to high school and it'll stay at the high school level. But you kind of like you
it.
said, you really don't know. It might go down to middle school, and high school. I don't like that they already can move around at least once and not change
Mhm.
anything, like. you're getting to play, and we don't get to play. And I just, oh, for me, like I played high school ball. It's just like just let them
Yeah.
play high school ball and move on to the next level. Why we got to get so involved with it now?
Well, and again, though, I stick with the same thing I've said the entire time. I do not really blame kids when people throw money at them, and you have to come up with a way to protect the kids from the schemers. You have to, and I don't know. It's wild. I was thinking about this. This could, at what point does 8U, AAU baseball turn into NIL deals? I mean, they already have corporate sponsors and, they have tryouts. You ask your buddies that you work with. Like, my kid's not that old yet, but I mean, it's pretty much semi-professional baseball, and there's people that's making money off of it, and it's not the families and it ain't the kids. So, like, it's kind of just a mess that this is where we're at with sports, and it's unfortunate, but. Good news. You want to break the Tennessee last lawsuit news of the week?
Oh yeah. So Tennessee quarterback Joey Aguilar not getting his sixth season. So that
Thank
come out a
God.
couple of days ago. He's getting denied that through the courts. I would say, and I'm okay with that, Casper. I think it's fine. Finally get that finished up. He had his time. He went here, went there. You're done.
Yeah, thank you, Joey Football, for your time. We really appreciate your season. I appreciate your effort, but for the betterment of college sports, I did not want you to get your year. I wish you the best. Hope you have a good draft. Probably not going to, but I hope you do. That'd be awesome if you could. Maybe you can play the UFL, go play in Canada, be a coach, be a trainer, go be a firefighter. You got your million or whatever you got from the University of Tennessee to get your life started. You're doing better than me. You can go buy a house, cash. So um, make the best of it, and I wish you the best. But yeah, I'm glad to see that. And I am really curious now to see what we do on the transfer portal. As we know, it'll open back up here after spring practice, and we'll see who's playing quarterback in August at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, just as a fan, I hope it's a big name, Casper. I hope it's some, or some kind of splash. I hope it's something pretty cool to hear. And whoever it is, I hope they can run, hope they can pass,
You know,
and be smart about it, and not be getting hurt because they got to run too much.
I hope it's
Uh,
George McIntyre. Just for
yeah,
the record, the guy that's been on the
yeah,
team for 3 years. Can we play him? Like, can we
yeah,
please? Wouldn't that make sense
yeah.
to play
I mean,
somebody that's been here in the system?
that's what I like, honestly. I mean, he's been there. He knows the coaches, and they know him, and
Yeah,
I believe in him. I think he can do it. So just let him start. Let him start and play.
yeah,
Get you the backup, kind of get that guy ready for next year, which it doesn't always, that's not how it goes, I know, but it could. Um, just get these guys together, and then this is a very big year for Tennessee. This is a big time for the
yeah,
coach and for all involved. We got to step up, and we got to win some games.
yeah. I guess kind of to wrap up this whole thing, which this whole lawsuit and nonsense and transfer we got back into, but like we're talking about this today at work, and it's just like at some point it goes back to who can keep a team. I don't know if you remember when they changed the college rule from 3 years to 1 year, and you had all these one and dones. And you had schools like Carolina and Duke that were doing all that, Kansas, all the blue bloods, right? We're all this one and done, one and done, one and done. And then finally they kind of quit messing with some of those one and dones, right? And they got better and they started winning again when they went away from the one and done. So like let guys stay in your system, develop them, let them learn, let them play. And I think that if you do that, you're going to be okay. Go look at Indiana. Indiana didn't go pick up a bunch of transfers. They won a national championship. They might win again next year because they're still going to have some guys there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. There's something to be said for just keeping guys in your system and developing them. I think at the end of the day, that'll make you a better team. It may not make you a better player, but it will make you a better team.
Yeah, I mean, that sums it up really good there, Casper. You just got to have your team together, keep them all on board, keep them all on the team, and everything else take care of itself. All right. The Braves. Let's talk about the Braves a little bit, Casper. A Braves vision is coming to the Atlanta Braves in 2026 for the broadcast. That was just announced a couple of days ago. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What's your thoughts, Casper?
Uh, I don't. I hadn't seen how much it is yet. I mean, everybody's assuming it's gonna be $20 a month. I'm fine with it. It doesn't matter. Just overall, in general, sports are so expensive to watch. Man, it's hard. You go add this, then you got to add this to your YouTube. So at my house, that means I'm paying for Dirt Vision, Flow, YouTube TV, and now am I going to have to turn around and add Braves Vision to watch the Braves? Like, I had cable to watch all of this at one point in time. And I guess the Braves are going to be on some cable, and I could consider going back to that. But I pulled the plug on the cable last year after the Braves deal, so the whole thing's just a wreck. I don't know. I mean, it's probably good overall. I just don't know that I'm going to have $20 a month that I'm going to decide to spend on the Braves because I've got other stuff that I watch. But um, I was hoping for TBS, but we're not that lucky, so we'll see. Maybe a
Yeah,
local channel will pick them up.
I'm hoping something like that, man. It'd be cool to get that picked up. When I saw the news come out that they were getting changed over from what it was to now to their own TV broadcasts, is from what I was understanding. I wasn't really sure about it, and I was hoping for something kind of like you said with TBS, but it didn't work out that way. So it's just going to come down to sports fans having to buy something else, and they're going to get their money, and that's what they want. And they know that if you're a fan, you're going to do it. So it's going to be money for them, which we'll get into that here in a little bit with some of the money for the Braves. Just I don't love it, but I do love that they came out with some news about it, and I guess I'll be buying me another pay to watch the event. So I guess that's what I'll be doing now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just decisions you have to make, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I hadn't decided yet. I would like to watch the Braves. Problem is, I can't watch them every night. I'm not gonna. I probably watch half or less games. Like it is what
Yeah.
it is. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just kind of tune in and watch some of the innings, and then if it's kind of in the background of what's really going on, and then
Yeah,
late in the year I probably tune in more. But I like to keep up with the Braves, and I like to talk about the Braves, and I
yeah.
like to see them do well. But they shouldn't make it that hard to watch it, and that's probably what's going to happen now.
Well, I do think, just for the record, just for anybody listening, because
Yeah.
somebody will light you up. I'm pretty sure that like the end market people are still going to have a TV option. I think your Comcast and Chattanooga will still have an option of some sort where they're going to carry it. They might work with individual market networks, like they could work with Gray or whoever to get a deal up here, whatever they want to do. So it's not that it's not going to be on TV. I just don't know exactly how that's going to work on regional sports packages or not, which regional sports packages basically all you're paying for at this point was in Tennessee, the Braves, and in East Tennessee is the Braves and the Predators and the Grizzlies, right? So, um, it's just weird. It's so strange. And you can't pay for all this. You remember when you could just get DirecTV or Xfinity and you could get all of it and then not have to worry about it? I mean, even these games, they're not even going to cover all the games. You're going to be buying that streaming service, but then if ESPN has the game, you still have to have some way to watch ESPN to watch the ESPN games. That's why if you look, it says 140 or more because all those national games you're not going to have. They're still going to have an Apple TV game that they're not going to have any access to. They're still going to have a Hulu or a Roku, breakfast game that you can't watch. So, it's unfortunate how this is all turned into just a racket, but it's the only thing people watch live.
Yeah, I mean, that sums it up. That's what people are going to watch. Yeah, that's pretty much that, Casper. So, for all the Titans fans out there, Titans get a Johnson from the Jets, and then the Jets will get a, a defensive tackle, a Devontae Sweat is going to the Jets. So that's some news there for the NFL. Um, and then baseball here in Chattanooga. It won't be long. 47 more days till we see the Lookouts hit the field in the new park. I'll be there opening night. Looking forward to it. I got some games planned for this season, so looking forward to getting out there with some new parks and something I enjoy checking out as well is that. So that's something that's won't be long for that. We'll come back to the golf, hit that here in a little bit. But here we go, Casper. College basketball, Saturday 2 o'clock, Tennessee at Vanderbilt. This game was packed. It was a good crowd up there in Nashville. We'll kind of get into the court here in a little bit, but
Yeah.
halftime was 35-31 Vandy. Vanderbilt come out, man. It was a pretty strong first half for them. They played a good game. Just didn't always go the best effort at the end. But first half, they had the lead. We go into the second half is when it really got pretty good there, Jasper. It was the Vols were wanting to win. It seemed like they were into it and playing some pretty good basketball. I thought it really all came down to the end. Vandy had their chance to really finish it off. I feel like they hit a late three there at one point to where I felt like I was feeling good about my pick. I picked Vanderbilt to win this game, but I'm glad Tennessee won. It was worked out good. I'm glad that
No,
worked
yeah.
out for them. But Tennessee was able to get it finished off there. And they got a win there. And I wish they'd be more consistent, which we'll get into here in a little bit. So that game, Casper, what was your thoughts on the game?
I mean, overall, good game. They played a close game for most of the game, and Tennessee ended up getting it done. And I think that's good and shows kind of. Um, I was feeling good after that game. I think I said on here last week, like if they win this game, it kind of means a lot for their season. So I was feeling good. I'm sure we're gonna get to after that, but I mean, I thought it was a good game, good quality win. Um, I mean, and we run the state, so that's what matters.
That's right. So Vols get to win a 69 to a 65. So that was the final score for all those listening. But yeah, it was kind of at the end there. It was pretty unique. So all the Tennessee fans were waving and doing the V down or whatever the V is for Vanderbilt's little slogan they do with their hands. So there's a lot of mocking going on, which is common. We see it in college sports. And if I was there, I'd probably maybe
Yeah.
doing the same because it's fun to wave the home team goodbye, and that's what they were doing.
Hey, listen, that's what they get for hiring a thug, Diego Pavia, to play quarterback.
Oh man. So this court, Casper, it's a pretty odd court. I'll let you kind of talk about it a little bit. What about this court there in Nashville?
So, while I was watching this game, and I have to watch Rick Barnes stand by himself on the sea of nothing, I'm like, this is so dumb. Why are the benches under the goals? For those of you who haven't seen the benches, I looked this up. It's Memorial Gymnasium in Nashville. Okay, it was built in 1952. Okay, the benches are underneath the baskets, and it's just weird. I don't like it. And then the coaches are just out there sitting by themselves, kind of floating. And then, I guess it's just probably the configuration of how they have the floor at this game. It looks like the floor is raised. So if you put the benches over there on the sides, and they're kind of weird. You know how like some of these where they play like the Final Four and stuff, and they build the basketball floor inside, like Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, for example, and it's raised. Well, the bench is down. So I don't know if they would have to try to do something like that, but just put the benches in a standardized spot. I mean, come on, NCAA. These basketball courts are getting ridiculous. We talked about this with Georgia a couple weeks ago. The local talk radio was talking about this 3 days ago. Oregon is the absolute worst one. I happened to catch it like last week one day. Go look at Oregon's basketball floor. It looks like somebody like it looks like skid marks in underwear on the floor is what it looks like from what they're doing. So go look it up if you hadn't seen it. But just standardize where these benches are at, guys. It's stupid. And also while I'm on the rant, we don't need courtside seats in college basketball. I don't need fans sitting on the court. They got it up here in TBA or excuse me, the Food City Center because it's not Thompson Bowling anymore. Um, where they're selling tickets down there on the court like that. Get rid of that, but put the benches where they're supposed to go. Vanderbilt. I mean, you can't pretend you're going to run the state if you can't even put the benches in the right place in the basketball gym. Come on, bro.
Yeah, it is the only court like that, I believe. I believe that's how it is, and it's the only court there in college basketball that was made that way. And I would love to know why, which I know it's probably old or whatnot, but I'd love to know why they can't change it back to how it should be.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's because it's raised. I'm pretty sure that's the answer, so that they would be blocking some people that are sitting low, um, and then it's just not the right shape. But I don't care. Do something. They got money. They got
Yeah.
money. They said they got money to hire players. Clearly, they got money to fix it. That building was built for 1.5 million last time it was worked on. It says so.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't be that now. I know that's expensive, but yeah, it's interesting. And I'm sure somebody like your dad, my dad, would be like, "No, they've been sitting there for 45 years. Why will we change it? It's original." But so let me know when you get that comment. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, I hate it. It's so dumb. To get out from under the bench. It also seems like a safety issue
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
And then I really don't like the cheerleaders on the backside sitting back there when I'm watching the game either. I'm like, I'm watching the game. And the cheerleaders are sitting on the floor. You know what I'm talking? It's just strange. I don't like it. Sorry. Rant over.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see them somehow change it, but it's probably not going to happen. So I guess every time we watch it, we're going to have to kind of deal with it. It sounds like. All right, Georgia Tech at Louisville. I don't have a lot to say about this situation at Georgia Tech. I've kind of gone over it in the past. Just we lost 87 to 70. We scored 70 points, so that's a positive I've got out of that. Um, it's tough to beat Louisville. They're a good team, so they will make a run at it, I'm sure, here in the next few weeks and months. So we'll see about that. Saturday, Michigan versus Duke. It was on at Duke. I was incorrect, so I will own up on that. It was at a neutral site location.
Yeah.
So it was
Stupid.
1 versus 3,
Stupid.
non-conference, mid late. Yeah, I don't like it either, Casper. I don't just some good hype that might lead into March Madness would be the only positive part of it. Halftime was 35 to 33 Duke, and then the final was a 68 to 63 Duke. So Duke, we'll kind of get in this here in a little bit, but they could be a 1 seed. Probably a lot for the 1 seed. We'll kind of discuss that here in a little bit. Duke's on a roll, but they still got some more games coming up. That'll be tough. We got Carolina coming up. They got some matchups that we'll kind of see how. I'm kind of on that Duke wagon a little bit, Casper. Honestly, I'm kind of on the bandwagon. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me.
Get off that Duke wagon. You don't be on no daggum Duke wagon. Let me say this about that situation. So I talked to my dad, who went to Carolina, and he said, I don't know why you're complaining. We used to do this all the time. He said they used to have like neutral site games. They would have like 3 or 4 games in one place and play them back to back to back, and have kind of like a. Now they would probably do it at the beginning, call it like a tip off or something. So I'm curious if your dad remembers some of that. My dad said that the ACC, they would be like East Carolina, Elon, and State, and it was like 4 teams. It was Carolina, Elon, State, and one of those other, College of Charleston or whatever, Charlotte, maybe UNC Charlotte. And they would just switch back and forth who they would play for the non-conference matchups, but they did it in Greensboro or something like that. So I don't know. Apparently, it used to be a common thing. I still don't like it. I want to play conference basketball and conference basketball season. That's my opinion.
All right, North Carolina at Syracuse. That was on Saturday. Halftime was 33-28 UNC, and the final was 77 to 64 North Carolina. They went up to Syracuse. They took care of them, Casper. All in all, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling too good about it. They got Henry Vesar back. He is out there playing. They are so much different when he is on the floor. If you watch at some point during that game, they were showing the stats about how much better they shoot and how much more they score when he is on the floor, just because he's 7 foot out there in the middle, defense, offense, making a difference. So, um, they did better than I thought they were going to this week. They got 2 wins. They got
Yeah,
Syracuse and Louisville both. So,
yeah.
sorry if we're going to talk about that in a minute, but
Oh.
good to see them get 2 wins. And they kind of did what I thought they weren't going to do. And I was kind of backwards on Tennessee and Carolina there. So we'll take it.
Monday night was the Tar Heels at Louisville, and that was a 77 to 74 win for North Carolina. So that was 2 in a row, like you said. So as a fan, you got to be glad to see that.
Yeah, we'll take it. I mean, we'll take it for sure.
Oh yeah. And then Tuesday nights, Tennessee at Missouri. Halftime was 29-26 Tennessee. And you just got to be able to finish these games, Casper. And I know you said it before, they got a little suck in them. And that really flared up and showed.
Yep.
So they took that loss 73 to 69.
Yeah.
So Missouri got the win there. I watched some of it, kind of come on late of the 9 p.m. tip here. Uh, so that was I watched a little bit of it honestly, and just that next morning when I saw the score, I was like, that's not what you want. And you can't get beat by Missouri. You got to find a way, which they're kind of on that bubble where they need to keep winning. Then they might get into the tournament. Just you got to find a way, and you got to be put it on somebody. But I'm just gonna put it on the team and say you gotta win when it's important. And these games will get to be important, so you can kind of get some more wins going into when it gets to be time to win.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. They just they do dumb stuff. They can't win more than 4 games in a row for one. Every time they win 4 games, they lose the next one. So go ahead and mark that down somewhere whenever we start this tournament up.
Yeah.
Then the other thing is like you said, they just can't. It's like you're okay. This is your time right here. Like you win this game, you put yourself in second in the conference, seeded there, control your own destiny to finish second in the regular season, which helps your seeding. Probably if you win this game, well, if you win out there, you're locked into I think a 4 higher seed probably, just because that's assuming that you're going to beat Alabama again too. I think we have Alabama on Saturday if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. So
Yeah.
I mean I don't know, but they just they do dumb stuff, man. Like I don't know. They shot 29% from the 3-point line, which isn't terrible, isn't great. They shot 57% from the floor, so that ain't helping a whole lot. I didn't get to watch all that game. Some people were saying the Ament just didn't do enough, which doesn't make any sense 'cause it's 17 points. So I don't know why everybody's kind of frustrated with that, but um, I don't know. They choked it. You go to Missouri and you choke. That's Rick Barnes. Sorry.
Yeah, it kind of felt like it was a trap game, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah,
They've had
for
some good
sure.
wins. They've won a couple there in a row, like you said, four in a row or so, and oh, yeah, they just
Yeah.
lost. They didn't perform well.
Yeah.
Happens.
I think you're really right on the trap game. I think that has a
No.
lot to do with it because you play at Vandy and then you're coming home to play Alabama this weekend. This team you're supposed to beat. You lose focus, and again, that's a coaching thing. You can't lose focus. You just can't. You know?
So we got three more games, Cause we got Alabama, South Carolina, and then Vanderbilt there in the season.
Yeah.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. We can only lose one of these next couple, and we've lost our one, so we need to
Yeah.
win out for sure
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good, pretty good about it. Alabama, Kaysen, my sister, so they're all gonna be up there with Ryan's gonna be up there as well. So we got some family up there. Brooklyn's gonna be there. It's an orange out.
Okay.
So that's coming up for them. But let's jump back to some March Madness talk real quick, Casper. One seed. I think it'll be Duke, Arizona, and Michigan are your locks for a one seed. You got some teams.
I mean, I think that's probably pretty close. I don't know though. Duke's gonna take that loss to my Tar Heels, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe they'll fall out. I don't know. They're all good teams. I just don't. Let me ask you this. So we talk about being a one seed. One, do you like have one that you just think is the best team like by far at this point? Because I just don't know that I see it.
I would say Duke or Michigan, but Michigan just got beat by Duke. Arizona's been hot. They were unbeaten there for a while. Um,
Yeah.
there's not one that's just like dominant. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and then after that I don't really know where exactly we're gonna end up at, but I don't know. We'll see. It is nice to see that, all these Carolina transfers are up here in the top
Very.
three. Pisses me off so bad.
Upcoming games. Saturday, Florida State at a Tech. So we got Georgia Tech. They're going to host Florida State. We'll see how that one goes. Saturday, 6 o'clock p.m. ESPN. You got 17 at Alabama at Tennessee. Um, Orange out. Yeah, out of all the gimmicks, that's probably the one I like the best. I feel like all fans got an orange shirt, orange hat, and so that should be a pretty cool look. Hopefully, I know in basketball it's not the best, but if
It's
they're
okay.
gonna do one, that one's pretty good to do.
Yeah, it's fine. I will say this, they have the pre-show nailed up there for basketball right now with the fireworks and all that. They roll them out on the floor, roll them off. So I'll give them that. But
Okay.
yeah, that's about the fifth gimmick we've talked about on
Yeah,
here, just for the
yeah,
record. So you know how I feel about that.
yeah. Saturday night, 8:30 ESPN2. You got the Hokies going to take on the Tar Heels. So that's going to be kind of could be. Hopefully, it's not a game for for them that they kind of forget about or slack off on. So hopefully Tar Heels can take care of Virginia Tech Hokies. So that's
Yeah,
you
you
want to
got me
watch
scared talking about trap games though. You got me scared.
that.
That's trap game material for Carolina with
Yeah.
Duke coming up, next Saturday. So we'll see what happens there.
All right, we will move on into some college baseball. This is pretty cool here, guys. I like this. You got East Carolina versus UNC. So they're playing one game at East Carolina, and then you got a game at the Durham Bulls Stadium, and then you got one at Carolina. So that's pretty neat, Casper. I like
Yeah.
how they're going to play all those games, you know, here and there and everywhere. It seems like.
Yeah, I think they call it the Tobacco Road Classic or
Okay.
something like that. But I thought it was really cool, move the stadiums. Then I
Mhm.
was texting you about it. I was just like, man, could we do this with other teams, like a progressive series? It's pretty cool, especially early in the season. You could almost do like I was trying to think like for Georgia Tech or Tennessee, like they could play each other non-conference. They could play Atlanta, Chattanooga, and here. That'd be cool, especially with a new park about to open in Chattanooga. That'd be a good location. Or could you even pick like I'm trying to think of like some smaller schools or something too. But you know, I think it'd be cool, Vandy and Georgia Tech, or something like that. So that'd be a battle of the white and gold.
There you go. That'd be a cool name for it. Battle of the White and Gold. I like that. So yeah, that was pretty neat. As a fan, I'd probably try to go to all three of those. If I lived over there and I lived within that area, I'd just check them all out.
Yeah. I didn't see it. I just happened to see that they were playing at the Vols Stadium. I was like, wait a second, I swear they were playing at ECU, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. They roll through there like that. So good job.
Tennessee is going to head to Texas and play a UCLA. They're going to play Virginia Tech, Texas A&M, uh, Arizona State. Some different teams that are mixed in there. Which, as a fan, this is great for me. I love this to really see what Tennessee's all about. So this is good. I like how they're playing out there in Texas. It's pretty, playing a big park like that out there for the and. I like it. We're going to kind of see if they can bounce back a little bit, Casper, because they had some losses here recently, and maybe we can see them, get back to their ways.
Yeah, not a good look to lose the first series loss there against Kent State. Don't love it, but Kent State, is known to put out a decent baseball team from time to time. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Hate that for them. Also, real quick, just to point out, I meant to say this about the East Carolina thing. So Carolina won the first game, and East Carolina won the second game, and they tied the third game. And there's nothing worse than a
Oh,
tied 3-3 series. Like that's awful. They got to fix that crap in baseball somehow, some way. But
oh,
but
yeah, you
yeah,
don't want, you don't want any ties. That's not the way to
yeah,
end the series for sure. Georgia Tech, it's hopefully that we can bounce back a little bit. We got beat on Wednesday night. Georgia State took care of us. Northwestern is who we're going to host this weekend. So it's a big team or whatever, but uh, those teams aren't known for baseball really up that way in the Big Ten. So
yeah,
we're just gonna have to see. But kind of looking forward to that. The team's good, and the goals get to Omaha, and sometimes you gotta lose them early. Maybe is my hope is to kind of get that. Maybe we got a big head, and we want to run the state and beat all the small teams that are in the state of Georgia. Um, and Georgia State come in there and beat us. So that's how that went. And I saw some highlights last
yeah,
night, and that's not what you want as a fan. But sometimes you just got to take them early on and accept it and understand that it's a process. You can't get cocky about it. You just got to go out there and win, and you
yeah.
can't think about too much. You just got to go out there and do it.
Did you see y'all get Georgia State again next week?
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
I kind of like that. So y'all did the home, and
Yeah,
you're going to go there and play. That's cool. That's kind of similar to the Carolina East Carolina thing. Like it's similar. So go back there, get your revenge, make it count. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying, big dog?
yeah. That's how that's going to go. We got to take care of that. We can't be getting beat by that little school like that.
No,
As a fan,
no,
that ain't cool. As a fan,
no, no. But hey, listen, local. That's that.
yeah.
That's their Super Bowl, right?
It means
So
more. Yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna get the
means more.
best game, and we
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. That's the team you want to beat too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Braves baseball. We'll do a little spring training talk here, Casper. Braves win 5 of 6 games so far. I like it. I know it's just spring training, spring practice, pretty much, but we're scoring runs and we're winning. And I picked them to lose that first one against the Rays, and they won. So I did not pick another spring training game for the record, Casper. I think I learned my lesson
what?
because you really don't know who they're going to have out there and who's playing, who ain't playing.
Yeah, I looked at the roster the other day at one of the games, like just on my phone, and I was like, my God, I don't know who half these people are. So I did forget about Chadwick Tromp. He's out there playing, so that'll help us a little bit if we need him early in the year while Murphy's out too. I forgot he's pretty decent, so we'll see. I'm sure we'll probably see him up there potentially too if we need another catcher. But I don't know. I am good. This is what I will say. I am glad to see that they have hit the ball some because we need to do that. It doesn't. I don't even really care who's pitching. At least we're hitting the ball some. My phone is lighting up while I'm at work. I get the notifications on my watch every score. So it's always good when I see that we're at least scoring. So we'll take it.
Chris Sale is a pitcher, and he is going to be extended through 2027. So we have a pretty big name pitcher there. He's going to stick around. So I like that. I like that kind of news. Is the kind of news I like to give to all y'all out there. So that's at least something to say.
I don't know how he's so old.
2025 wise for the team wasn't the best year, but the team made money. The area made money, so they were up on their earnings from last year. I saw that. I think it came out maybe today or yesterday. So they were up. So that's people are spending money and going to the games, and everybody's making money. So at the end of the day, that's very key for these sporting events is to make a profit, and that's what they did last year. So
As long as we can spend some money that we made on getting some players in here, then
yeah,
that's just
there you
remember.
go. You gotta made the money. Now we gotta spend the money. Get these guys
I
in.
mean, it ain't gotta be Dodgers and Mets, but we gotta do something,
Yeah.
you know?
All right, the Olympics, Casper. We got the gold in hockey 2-1 over Canada. I love beating Canada. That was good to see. I think I saw that on the way to the race. I saw that a couple days back. So
Yeah,
2-1 in overtime. So there we
yeah,
go. That was good to see. We got 12 goals, Casper. I like that. I like that. You know, a Team USA to get that was good. So that's 12 gold. That's a new record. We got 12 gold, 12 silver, and 9 bronze. So 33 total medals for that. So that was great to see, and it's always good to see gold.
yeah. Another 4 years, I'll be ready to watch more curling.
Yeah, we got to wait a little bit, and some of them I kind of get into, and I guess my top would be the hockey for the winter. Something I would probably watch with some of the fights in U.S. versus Canada. I'm sure that one was pretty chippy. I would say I didn't get to
Did
see
you
it.
have you seen where some of these people from Canada are like arguing online that they had the better team and that they really won the game? Like I'm not
Uh,
joking. Like because so I guess the playoff, I'm not a big hockey guy, but the playoff rules or the overtime rules are different in the Olympics. They skate 3-on-3 in overtime instead of 5-on-5 or whatever. And
oh,
so yeah, so people are like supposedly complaining. I saw some of this stuff. They're like, no, our team's better. If they didn't have these stupid rules, we would have won. And I'm like, enjoy your silver. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
yeah,
you don't get to. No, that's not how this works. You don't finish second and then be like, no, we're better. I mean, come on, dude. Like, what kind of Notre Dame crap is that? My
yeah. Like
gosh.
we play the game, and you had your chance during the game to win. If you were better, you would have won.
Who was it that hung the banner up? Like UCF hung up a national
Oh,
championship banner when they didn't make the football Final Four. That's kind of
yeah,
like that. Like, no, you were good. You did good. Move on.
yeah. Just take your silver and be happy about it, and we won. That's all there is
Yeah,
to that.
yeah, yeah.
Anything else on that, Casper?
No, not a whole lot on the Olympics. Obviously there's a lot of drama with State of the Union and all that going on. You know, I hate when sports gets intertwined with politics, but I love it when our country can get together. And I was happy to see the men's hockey team just be grateful to win for the U.S. and not out here talking about politics. So, congratulations to them on that. Whether you agree or disagree with my opinions, at least they weren't fighting.
Yep. All right, quick with some golf. There was a golf tournament out there in California. Jacob Bridgman wins that. Tiger Woods was the host out there, and looked big. I watched some of it Saturday, so that was a little bit of golf talk there for those that like to watch golf. There you go. But that about wraps that up, and that will put us into picks of the weekend. Casper got the win, so it is 7-6 now for Casper. So Casper now has the lead.
That's right. At least it's not 6-7.
All right, and I will go over yours, Casper. Vols get the win over Vandy, so you had Vandy, or Vols. So you got that one with Tennessee. Miami over Virginia. That was not go that way. And Louisville over Carolina. Louisville got the win there. So those were your three, and then mine were Tennessee at Vanderbilt. I had Vanderbilt getting the win. Had the Braves beating the Rays on Saturday, and the Rays got the win there. And then Michigan at versus Duke, and I had Duke getting the win, and that's what happened. It all came down to the tiebreaker. I had 130 for the total of the Tennessee versus Vanderbilt game. You had 131, and 131 was the closest there was. So you got the point there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Thanks for handing me the easy win on the tiebreaker. I appreciate that.
So that will lead me into I'll get to go first here. So Alabama at Tennessee. Give me Tennessee to get the win in Knoxville. The Predators at the Stars. Give me the Stars to get the win. And then this is for Dan. The Bucks at the Bulls. Give me the Bucks to
Oh,
get the
wow.
win.
Suck up. All right. First of all, give me Tennessee to beat South Carolina next Tuesday. I'm gonna do this in the order of,
Okay.
least shocking news. Big time news though on Saturday. Arkansas wins at Florida. Okay, that's put that down. You're gonna want to mark that on your calendar. Arkansas wins at Florida. Okay, they think they're a good team. They think they're rolling into this thing. They think they got a shot. They don't. Okay, screw them Gators. All right, second, give me UVA over Duke for the double upset Saturday. Give me the Cavaliers. Go down there, Cameron Indoor, and teach them a lesson so they can lose at home 2 weeks in a row.
There you go. Oh man. All right. Well, that will lead us into tiebreaker. Let's do the total points of Tennessee and South Carolina. Let's do the total points on that one. I'll go ahead and go first. Give me 136.
Give me 130, 130. Just 130 would be good. I'll take it.
130. I
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
too.
South Carolina's not going to put that many up. So,
It's true. All right. And then we'll do one last thought. I know we already talked about this a little bit earlier, but this whole court situation in NASCAR, um, something I kind of keep an eye on, and these are the things I really hate to hear. So my only thing is, I just hope it doesn't get nasty. Um, so we'll just have to see. And I'm looking forward to it, and kind of seeing what all comes about. It's been popping up here the last, today for sure. And then my other minute would be Speedway's got JD back. He is back on the track. Was it tonight through Saturday? I got him to pick on your show on Saturday. He's gonna get the big money. Sounds like he's been having a good time, not at the track as much. His wife's is cooking more at home. It sounded like on a post I saw online, and fishing tournament for his son and stuff. Also, some more news here. We're just going to bust in here with some more news for you, Casper. That for all of those that watch fishing and whatnot, the Classic is not going to be back in Knoxville next year. It is getting moved to South Carolina. So the Bassmaster Classic will not be back in 2027.
yeah, I
Sorry.
think they move that every year or something. But I don't know. You have to ask Randy. Yeah, well, it'll be fun for you to come up here for that. One hot minute, last talk, whatever it's supposed to be. I don't really have anything. Sorry, I'm throwing up air balls here. I guess, the one thing I'll say is, shout out to your woman for going to that race and freezing her tail off. I feel bad. It was cold, man. It was cold. I was trying to think on the way home when I couldn't feel my hands till I hit about Marietta, and I was like, what is the coldest race we ever went to? And I think the coldest race that we ever attended, if you remember this back in the day, the Gobbler at Cleveland Speedway. It was about 18 degrees, wind chill probably -2. This is back before we had money to buy a propane heater. We were broke. We were there till about 3:30 in the morning, and we finally left, and it still wasn't over. If I remember, it ended at 5 a.m. that night. So, but other than that, it was a cold race, man. It was the coldest I've been in a long time. It was colder than Neyland for that Oklahoma game, which I thought was pretty cold. I would dang near say it was colder than Ohio State when I went up there for that football game too. Just being open and in the wind. That wind was brutal. So shout out to her for coming down there. Hope she had a good time. Does she like this Coke I gave her? Or
She
you
did,
or
yeah.
whoever? Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah,
delicious. Cherry Coke Zero Float. Go get you one. They're
I had a few
delicious.
sips of it, and it was good. It
Yeah,
really was good.
they're
It hit the
good.
spot.
I only got one
Um,
left, so
okay. Well, I guess that'll about shut it down. So thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe if you would on the YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram. You got any questions for the show? You can send them to me, send them to Casper, put them in the comments below. You got anything else, Casper?
have a great weekend. Watch Tennessee win. Watch Duke lose.
There you go. And with that being said, I'm going to say see you in the next one.